It's Mr. Malte, and I don't have a beard. This is our part 2 of our read and write lesson using the purple puzzle piece. So let's get rocking and rolling. If you don't remember where that file is, it's in Classroom. It's also in your drive. But you can just go to the read write assignment and click on the doc again. Not now, Chrome. Remember, if you need to zoom in a doc or a slide, Control, Alt, plus, minus. Control, Alt, plus, and minus. That's your zoom, not Control, plus, and minus. That's your browser. Okay, so first things first. We're going to start with the dictionary that's built in, which I kind of like, because here's a word like said. This isn't read write. This is just docs. But if I right click on a word like said and I go define, did you know, my friends, that there is a whole thesaurus right here? Back when I was a kid, you had to look at an actual book to get a thesaurus, and you'd alphabetically look for those words that you would misuse. But here, it's right there in your doc. So instead of said, you could say all these other things. Declare, speak, utter. And it gives you the part of speech, which is awesome. So it gives you all that fun stuff. So try that. I would pause. Try replacing walked with something else. And this is a fun lesson if you even make students walk differently. So instead of walk, they could stroll, saunter, amble. Try that thesaurus that's built in. I really like that. Another thing that's not read write, but it's awesome and you should do, is if you go to a new tab and just look up a word like mnemonic. Whoa, and I even spelled it wrong. Any word that you're not sure how to pronounce, like if you're like the dad on Modern Family, he said mnemonic, but no, it's not that.
Mnemonic.
So you can press that play button. But look at this. Learn to pronounce. You can even go here and listen to it.
Mnemonic.
Mnemonic.
You can even listen to
Mnemonic.
mnemonic, the British pronunciation, which is awesome. You can slow it down. You can get feedback on your pronunciation. So use that. Look up a word. See how to pronounce it. I'm trying to think of a word that, this one. One of the most mispronounced words ever. I should add, maybe I'll add pronunciation. Pronunciation. You like how I can't type? That's great. So here's a word that everyone mispronounces. Here we go. You ready for it? How would you say that word? I'm not going to say it. It's the sauce.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire. Is that how you would have said it? Or would you have said Worcestershire?
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
If you want to be British,
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire. So fancy. You could be the most proper person ever.
Worcestershire.
So that's an awesome tool. The pronunciation tool that's just in the Google machine. It's fantastic. Pause. Play with that. I had a coffee. Beware. Okay. Moving on. This tool that we have here, hopefully you paused and you're back and you're ready for some more insanity. Now this tool is the text, or the voice to text tool, which is really awesome. Even if you're a good typist, this isn't because you can't type. One study by Stanford University found that people who used the talk and type, the voice to text, could type up to 5 times faster than even the fastest typists with their hands. Because, I don't know if you know this, but the keyboard is built to make you type slower because typewriters would get stuck. You know those typewriters? If you just had it set up a different way, it would actually make you get stuck. The keys would get stuck. So they set it up in a way to slow you down. Did you know that? Crazy. But using the voice to text is a great way to get ideas down. It's a great way to make complete sentences. So I would like you to come up with a story. If you have something already that you want to write about, just like your day, that's fine. That tends to be fairly boring, I find. One thing I like to do, and here's this is totally another aside, teachers, you're welcome. But I like to go from a very broad topic, like winter, and I like to narrow it down. So I deleted my story that I was going to tell anyway, but winter, and then winter, you might associate that with, hopefully, snow, and maybe tobogganing. Oh my gosh. I'm going to say sledding. And then maybe that time when we were going down the big hill in Camrose, and my sister-in-law, we crashed at the bottom and she broke her tailbone. Maybe I'll tell that story. That's a story I could probably write in a lot of descriptive text. Or the time we had that awesome snowball fight that we definitely should not talk about. And I was trying to throw a snowball at my cousin, and it was the perfect snowball, and I threw it, and he ducked, and it hit the girl I had a crush on in the face and broke her glasses and caused her to have a bleeding nose, and everyone blamed it on a different person, and that was a good memory. It could be summer, and it could be water, and maybe when I was kayaking. And actually, 2 summers ago, I was on Two Jack Lake, and a black bear jumped into the water and swam, and I approached it, and I got within about 6 feet of this black bear, and then it looked at me, I was like, "Woo!" And it got out of the water. We kind of followed it across the lake, and it got out and shook like a dog and walked off into the trees, and that was pretty awesome. And there were actually some kids playing on the beach right on that side. I had to go over and like, "By the way, there's a bear." And they're like, "Okay, thanks." I'm like, "No, really, right there is a bear." So come up with a story. That's my long-winded way of saying, like, come up with something to write about. And then I'm going to go to my purple puzzle piece. Yeah, it took that long to even open the app. And there is the talk to type. Think of the first sentence. It was a beautiful summer day in Jasper National Park. Period. Stop it. If you don't stop it, it's going to keep going and you'll have a bunch of nonsense. So get used to that undo button. We were kayaking on Two Jack Lake. Period. Okay? Think of the sentence. Say the sentence. Use the punctuation. No offense, grade 5 tends to not have a lot of punctuation that they need. And that's one thing we really have to be aware of. So write a little story. One time. It's got to be an experience. Otherwise, it's never going to be as good. Then, so that's going to take you some time. Pause that. That could be a whole class. And then come back tomorrow. But once you have something, the next tool that I'd like you to use is the play a passage. And this is not because you can't read. It's because our brain fills in the blank. So I would like you to go over your story.
It was a beautiful summer day in Jasper National Park. We were
If you don't like the voice, you can go up to the 3 dots in settings and change it to, which one do I like better? I don't know. Oh, that's UK. Probably not. We'll change it to Samantha and I'll slow it down a little bit. Okay. And there we go.
It was
a beautiful summer day in Jasper National Park.
This is great. Do that with your writing. Teachers, 2 things I would also do after this. 1, give students a paragraph with no punctuation and have them press play and listen back with read write and then add the punctuation. Thing number 2, I would have them take a piece of writing they have on paper and transcribe it with their voice into docs and see A, how much smaller it gets when it's not written in giant font with their handwriting, and how the punctuation is going to change. You're welcome. So do those 2 things. Good luck with all of that. It's also great for just if you're feeling lazy or you're feeling like you want it to be read to you.
Canada is one seriously huge
This works on any doc, any PDF, or any website. So good luck. May the force be with you. Have fun with that.